Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
Hello and welcome to History for Weirdos.
We're your hosts, Andrew
and Stephanie.
And each week, we're going to take you on a journey into the strange, obscure, and relentlessly entertaining corners of human history.
Now listen up, friends, because it's about to get weird.
What's going on, weirdos? It's your boy, Andrew.
And Stephanie.
And welcome to the History for Weirdos podcast, episode numero 8.
Yes, and we are so happy to have you listening and to be 8 episodes in. So far, this podcast has been like such a source of fun for the two of us.
It really has. And hopefully it's been fun for you guys listening
Exactly,
in.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
Please keep listening.
Please keep listening. Please clap. So, this is actually interesting because I don't know. I have no clue what you're talking about. Like, I always have like a little bit of an inkling, but like, but this time I know absolutely nothing. You've kept it a really good secret.
I've actually told you what I'm doing before.
I was drunk, okay?
No, you weren't.
Okay, maybe I wasn't.
What kind of excuse is that? You're just,
I'm a terrible husband, I guess.
I didn't say it, so no, you're the best husband. But goodness. I have mentioned it in passing. You must have just not been listening or forgotten or something. Yeah. So either way, I'm glad that there's an air of mystery here.
That's true.
I am doing the story of a woman named Bessie Stringfield.
Bessie's not Springfield, but Stringfield.
I keep wanting to say Springfield.
Whoa.
Yeah, or string cheese. It's either one of those two.
Yeah, the string cheese is definitely more you, I feel like.
I love cheese.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump in with my sources, unlike someone.
Yeah, you know what? I did that last week, and I huge pat on the back for myself for not forgetting my sources. So, I take offense to that.
We got to do it right at the top so that no one, for even a remote second, thinks that we are
coming up with this for like ourselves.
Yeah, or that we actually know things on our own without Googling them. Because that's false. So I got the information on Bessie Stringfield from a website that I actually referred to, I think in the first episode I did.
Oh.
Rejected Princesses.
Oh, so the Cootioon, yeah.
Yes. I got my info from Wikipedia as well. And this really amazing New York Times obituary. Like, it's kind of like an obituary, kind of an article. Mm-hmm. And it's a series called Overlooked No More in the New York Times.
Okay.
This article's title is Overlooked No More, Bessie B. Stringfield, the Motorcycle Queen of Miami by Nikita Stewart.
Oh my goodness.
So that gives you a little hint into why we've got this wonderful weirdo, Bessie Stringfield, this week.
A motorcycle queen.
Yes.
Ooh, I like this already.
Mm-hmm. So similar to the episode that I did on Cootioon that we just referenced, I think Bessie Stringfield is appropriate for our podcast because she's a weirdo in like the good sense of the word. Mm-hmm. And that in the context of like her time, she was just a badass, but people thought she was really weird for being herself.
Yeah, this is actually probably like a person, when we first came up with the idea of this podcast, it would be like this would have been an ideal person.
Yeah, I think before we even like fully solidified the idea of doing History for Weirdos, we were just talking about it. I don't think we had a name or anything. I knew that I wanted to touch on this woman because I read something about her once. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You get to tell the story then.
Exactly. Thank you. So to explain her weirdness further, like to give us a little bit of context, I want to read the opening quote of that New York Times article by Nikita Stewart.
Okay.
So Stewart writes, "Somewhere between myth, memory, and motorcycles, Bessie B. Stringfield was great. In the 1950s, when women were relegated to housework, either in marriage or as domestics. Stringfield was married several times and worked as a maid, yet revved and roared through Florida's palm tree-lined streets on her Harley Davidson, earning the unofficial title of Motorcycle Queen of Miami.
Oh my God! So she was riding in the 50s, like in the 1950s. When you think of like
you think of the stereotypical housewife or like a domestic worker,
exactly, like coming home. Like the man coming home from work and living in a cookie cutter house.
Yeah.
The food's already on the table.
Exactly. The
two brats running around.
Yeah, crazy strict gender roles, crazy strict concepts of race, of sex, of everything, and she defied a lot of those barriers. So
wow.
Yeah, Bessie Stringfield was the first African-American woman to ride across the United States solo. And
Whoa.
She was one of the few civilian motorcycle dispatch riders for the U.S. Army during World War II.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah, so she was just amazing. So I'm going to start with her backstory.
Okay.
So one of the interesting things about Bessie is the mystery surrounding her early life, actually. Bessie herself contributed to conflicting accounts about where she came from originally, claiming she was born in Jamaica to a Jamaican father and white Dutch mother, also telling people that her mom had died and that her dad had left, and that she was raised by Irish-American adoptive parents.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so her early life is just shrouded in mystery. So what I believe is the more accurate story, though, is that she was born Beatrice White to two African-American parents named Maggie Cherry, which isn't that such a cute...
Maggie Cherry.
Isn't that such a cute name?
That's an amazing name.
Yeah, and her father was James White, and she would have been born in Edenton, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I wrote here, like in my notes, I wrote a list of fun facts about her birthday / potential lies.
Potential lies.
Potential lies. So one thing is that it was publicly believed that she was born in February.
Okay.
Like you.
Like me.
February of 1911, just like you also.
Just like me. I'm also over 100 years old.
With the name Betsy Leonora Ellis.
Okay.
So that's her guessed birthday.
Jeez.
The death certificate, however, says she was born in March of 1911.
I'm going to go with February. It's a better month.
Okay. You're biased?
I'm biased.
There's
no, I'm not.
Also a social security record saying she was born in March of 1912. And it was a surviving niece of Bessie's that later told the New York Times that Bessie had lied about a lot of her origin stories, including her birthday. And in 1996, a woman named Anne Farrar, she wrote this really cool book about female motorcyclists, and it was titled "Hear Me Roar."
Oh, it's
super
interesting.
Cool. And she references Bessie, and Farrar perpetuates some of the quote-unquote tall tales about Bessie's early life. So this is a quote from Anne Farrar, the author of the book "Hear Me Roar." Bessie's running from her early past does not discount or in any way lessen her unusual achievements as an adult, and that is why Bessie continues to inspire new generations, and rightfully so. She asked me to tell her truth as a friend. So for me, that says that... So Anne Farrar kind of covers multiple iconic female motorcyclists in this book, and she knew Bessie personally and interviews her for the book. And I think what she's letting us know here is that, yeah, a lot of it was lies, and we know that, but it's like lies about her parents, Yeah. Those lies don't take away from, like, her achievements. It's not like she lied about the work she did.
Yeah, that's also very poignant. And also it is interesting. Like, why would she lie about the innocuous things? Like,
I would... A big major assumption, because who knows, but for those that don't know, I am getting my master's in social work, so I do therapy, and my gut tells me that there's something traumatic or difficult in her childhood that would make her kind of make it a little more fantastical or a little more unique or a little more whatever feels right for her. But again, I have no idea.
Right, you're just theorizing.
Yes, this is speculation, but sometimes we do that when things are hard or not so pretty. We kind of embellish or just straight up lie so that it's a little easier to swallow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so in that, if that were to be the case, which again we don't know, it makes me empathize with her even more.
Definitely.
Yeah, and like Farrar said, she's still a freaking badass, so.
Yeah, like those things, the events, like, we know they happen.
Yeah, who cares if she was born in 1911 or 1912? It doesn't matter.
That's very true.
So Bessie married and divorced 6 times.
All right, babe, I gotta beat that, so...
Wait, it gets better. She always married younger men.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And during one interview, when she was 70 years old, Bessie said, "I wouldn't have a man over 35, even now." Badass.
Oh, my God. So...
Goals, Bessie.
So, that means I'm... when I'm 70, I can't have a woman over 35, so...
Good luck with that, babe. I believe in you.
Oh, thanks.
She knew the grief of multiple miscarriages with her first husband, which must have been so painful.
Yeah.
And she kept the last name of her third husband, Arthur Stringfield. So, interesting. I don't know why. I don't know if she was, particularly fond of him or maybe just got tired of changing her last name.
Right.
So, in regards to how Bessie got into motorcycles, in 1928, at the age of 16...
Oh, jeez.
I know. Stringfield taught herself to ride her first motorcycle.
That's pretty badass, because that's hard.
It's so hard. I'd be so scared.
I don't know, when I was I don't know how old I was when I rode a bike, but 8 or something? I don't know. When I taught myself how to ride a bike, or not taught myself, but had my parents teach me, or grandparents. That was hard.
Imagine also, being a 16-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Where no
girl.
one... Yeah, a young girl. You're a kid. No one is expecting you to hop on a freaking motorcycle for any reason whatsoever.
No,
so it takes,
never.
Yeah, it takes a lot of initiative to be I'm going to teach myself how to do this.
Seriously.
I'd be too scared to get on one even now. In 1930, at the age of 19, she started long-distance traveling on her bike across the United States. At the age of 19.
At the age of 19.
She would just take off on her own, on her bike, and just travel.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. That's the theme of her life, I think.
Just being badass.
Yeah. And during this time, she earned money from performing motorcycle stunts in carnival shows.
Do you think that paid well?
No, I'm sure it didn't pay well at all, but that probably got her enough to eat and stay in motels or whatever, which I'm going to get to in a second, because infamously it's known that because Bessie was black, she was often not allowed to stay at motels while traveling. So everyone knew that she would sleep on her motorcycle in a gas station because it was well lit.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm. People just didn't even they didn't want to take her money. They didn't want to let her stay there because she was a black woman.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So she was dealing with so much and still didn't let it. I'm sure it was difficult and painful and stuck with her, but she didn't let their BS keep her from doing what she loved, which was riding her motorcycle and doing these cool performances.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I just also motorcycle stunts at 19, just going from carnival to carnival. Hey, I can do really cool flips on my motorcycle.
I think that's just hitting me now that she was doing stunts. Mm-hmm. At 19 years old.
Yeah, and I don't actually know what a lot of motorcycle stunts look like, but I have this image of
long jumps.
Yes, long jumps,
the Evel Knievel. Yeah.
Over things, over a car or something. So I think that's what she did.
That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Incredibly dangerous, and she was really good at it. But because she was a woman, they often wouldn't give her a prize if she won the competition.
Wow, what the hell is wrong with these people?
So she very quickly figured out she had to enter the competition posing as a man. So she'd hide her hair, or she'd walk up wearing her helmet and her biker outfit and just enroll in the stunt show, and then she'd win, and then she'd take off her helmet and show them all that she was a woman, and most of the time the crowd would be outraged and she'd get disqualified.
That's so absurd.
What the hell?
Dude, I feel these people are just
Wouldn't you be impressed?
Yeah, like, I mean, also, like, why, like, seriously, why are you outraged? Like, don't you not have, like, anything better going on in your lives?
Exactly, than to be mad that someone's really good at something.
Yeah.
And she's a woman.
Dude, seriously, I have way too much crap going on in my life to even remotely care about that.
I know. It shows just what I mean, we still struggle with these issues today, but what a different world she was facing.
Yeah, that's true.
So it really puts into perspective how much she must have loved doing what she did.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
To keep going against all odds. Like, people were mad at her for being black. People were mad at her for being a woman. Like, she could not catch a break. And she was like...
why couldn't she, like... I mean, God, being black and a woman, geez, why can't she just change that?
Yeah, just pick something else, Bessie.
Gosh.
So, during World War II, Stringfield served as a civilian courier for the U.S. Army, carrying documents between domestic Army bases. She completed the rigorous training and was the only female rider in her unit.
Wow.
It must have been really hard for them to even, like, admit her into doing this.
Yeah, she was woman and black.
Yeah.
In the 40s.
But they must have just really needed couriers, and she was so skilled.
Yeah.
So she rode her own blue Harley-Davidson, and during the 4 years that she worked for the Army, she crossed the United States 8 times.
Wow. That's... Man, you also have those cross-country trips, man. You must just see some beautiful sights.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine? Yeah. It's a very beautiful country.
Yeah.
We need to see more of it. So, unsurprisingly, though, during these trips, she regularly encountered a lot of racism. And there was this one, like, really infamous story that lots of folks heard of a white man saw her driving on the road on her bike while she was working for the U.S. Army in the South. And he was in his car, and he drove her off the road and made her crash.
Wow. So this dude's racism is like, I'm literally going to, like, derail our war effort because I'm such a jackass.
He probably didn't know that's what she was doing, that she was driving as a courier, because she, like I said, she drove her own blue Harley, but his racism was so profound that it just led him to almost kill someone for driving... Like,
driving a vehicle.
...near him in his vehicle.
Yeah, wow. That's... I don't even have words for that, man. That's just nuts.
I couldn't imagine what that's like.
Literally can't either.
Yeah. But again, like, she kept going. Every single time she literally would get knocked down, she never stopped.
Man, she was definitely like an OG weirdo.
Yes. Definitely. So for her time in Miami, that's where she eventually settled down, and that's where she started.
Nice.
Yeah. Really pretty place to settle down.
Seriously.
And she became a nursing assistant, and she was known for getting really close to the families that she worked for, and
that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of the community actually she was a very loved figure. She was really warm and charismatic and told all these really cool, crazy stories of life on the road that just charmed people.
Oh, I bet. So
eventually she saved enough money to buy her own home in Miami, and she turned it into a biker house.
Oh my God.
Isn't that so cool?
That's really cool.
So it was just like, from what I read, it sounds like it was just the spot where like bikers, like chill bikers, I'd imagine, like passing through could just crash at her place.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
That's very, like, generous of her.
I know, and it just, again, shows how much she loved doing what she did.
Yeah, this must have been, like, her complete, like, passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be cool. We should turn our house into a biker house.
I do not think so.
Okay.
Our 550 square foot apartment.
Yeah. You, me, Stella, and Delta, the dog and the bird, and then just like a handful of bikers passing through.
I don't even think there's room like on the carpet for them to sleep. Like maybe like someone would have to sleep on the tile in their kitchen.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be crowded.
Yes. It would be cool
probably
and
very
crowded.
Dirty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
And then while in Miami, she was also famous for every year she would just like get all of her biker friends to come visit from across the country, and they would do a parade through like a biker parade through the streets of Miami. And mind you, at this point, she is like elderly woman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is not when she's still young in her 20s. Like, her youth was either doing carnival tricks or working for the army.
Yeah, because, okay, you said she was born in, like,
1911 or 1912.
So let's just say 1912 is probably the more official date. So, like, 1912, like, when she was in the army, like, she's already 30, like, during World War II. Like, and then early 30s working for World War II. So, yeah, you're right. Like, was this, like, the 50s now?
I actually, that's a really good question. I didn't see a date for when she officially settled down.
But yeah, I guess you could say like she's at least in her 40s at this point, and probably 50s.
And she spends the rest of her life doing exactly this, running a biker house and leading these parades.
Dude.
Like, until she passes away, she's doing this.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. So she continued riding Harleys specifically.
Okay.
She knew what she liked. She liked a good Harley. And she ultimately owned 27.
27?
27.
Okay, when you have 27 bikes, like, where do you put them? Like, because, I mean, even rich people have, like, garages that can only fit, like, I mean, I would imagine, like, less than that.
I wonder if it wasn't, like, 27 all at once.
Or it was, like, throughout her life.
Right, but I would think
but even
that sounds, like, wasteful, so I think she must have owned, like, a dozen at a time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it could have been up to, like, like a dozen, but still, like, you have to have a big-ass garage for that.
I know.
Maybe
like,
just, like, on her front yard. Like, she just has, like, all parked in a row.
Yeah.
God, it's so tacky.
Front yard to backyard, around the house. It's just surrounded in Harleys.
Oh, that's amazing, though. Oh,
I know,
my God.
and with other bikers coming to stay at her house.
Also, street parking back then. It's
Would
not
have been
like
better.
LA today.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, we have a neighbor who is the best person ever.
Yes.
But he just always has cars.
Yeah. Jerry.
He has so many cars, and we always joke whenever we see like a new car like parked in front or whatever, like, oh, it must be his, and it is like every time.
It's seriously, we've seen this guy. He's owned like at least a couple dozen.
Yeah.
By the entire time we've lived here.
Yeah, and we've lived here like 2 years.
Owned one and then sold it. It's like his neat little hobby.
And he told me the other day, actually, that he keeps some at his garage at work. Like, they're not even all here.
I know. I'm like, what a champ, Jerry.
Yeah, I guess when you know what you love, you stick with it.
That's true.
So, she would even, as an old woman, like, she was known in Miami for, like, riding up to church on her Harley. And, like, always bringing a different Harley to church, like, every week.
Oh my god!
So just like roaring up there.
That's so cool.
She would be very extra, as the Utes would say.
Extra, definitely. She sounds very extra.
Exactly.
I mean that in the best way, though.
Of course. Bessie was eventually diagnosed with an enlarged heart.
Oh.
And was forbidden to ride her motorcycle ever again.
Okay, that's worse than a death sentence probably for her.
By doctors. So obviously she did not listen.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die on my terms.
Exactly. I love that so much. They were like, you cannot ride your motorcycle. I don't know why, like, riding a motorcycle would be particularly strenuous on your heart.
Maybe adrenaline, like the adrenaline pumping.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never
but maybe
ridden
with
one.
her though, it's like, I mean, you've done it so many times. Like,
is it even adrenaline? Yeah, it's like
when
driving
you drive
a car.
It's like sometimes you just zone out. You don't even know like what's happening. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You're a little bit on autopilot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but she, for whatever reason, was told this would impact her enlarged heart. She could never ride again, and she was like, I'm going to keep doing it.
Lol, Rafflecopter.
So she, like I said earlier, she continued despite, like, medical problems, despite getting older. She rode her motorcycles, led parades, had her biker gang until...
Her biker gang?
Yes.
Like a 70-year-old woman?
Yeah, she did. She had all of that up until the moment she passed away at the age of 82.
So, I mean, she still lived, like, a long life.
Yeah. 82 is, like, I mean, it's...
Especially for back then, I mean, I don't know.
Yes, especially for back then. I mean, someone that was born in 1912, like...
Yeah.
I don't think their life expectancy was that long, actually.
No, I don't think so.
So her legacy still continues, though. In 2000, the American Motorcyclist Association created the Bessie Stringfield Award, recognizing bikers who bring new communities into the motorcycle world.
Oh, that's really neat.
She's like the champion of diversity within the motorcycle community.
And she didn't even try it. It just happened.
That is like the coolest thing, when you're not even trying to to like innovate or to break a barrier, but just you being yourself and doing what you love.
Yeah.
Is just innately opening like doors for other people.
That's really cool. You're right.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
So that's why I'm so endeared to her. In 2002, she was also inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest.
I didn't either, but we're not like big.
We're not motorcycles.
Hog people.
We're not hogs, people.
We're not hogs.
The hogs are the motorcycles. That's my bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, we know what we're talking about here.
Yes, we know motorcycles.
I know.
There's like parts and tires, and there's a steering thing.
And they go vroom vroom.
They go, again, they're loud.
Yes.
When we were walking earlier today, God, those things were loud.
Yeah. We passed like a little motorcycle crew, but they didn't seem as cool as Bessie.
No, they definitely were not as cool as Bessie.
Right.
I can tell you right now.
So that is the story of Bessie Stringfield, the first African-American woman to ride across the United States solo, and we thank her for breaking down so many barriers and being the weirdo of her time.
You know what?
Yay.
Yeah, good for her. She sounded awesome.
I
Like, she would have been,
know.
like, someone fun to, like, grab a beer with, or, like, I
bet.
don't know. Or be like, can I go on a motorcycle ride with you? But I have to, like, hold on to you.
You're,
from
like,
behind.
holding on to, like, the 80-year-old woman.
Yes.
And you're screaming the whole
And I'm
time.
like, oh my God, slow down.
Yeah.
This is me, you know, and I speed on the freeway.
Yeah,
So.
I bet in a motorcycle it's completely different, though.
Oh, yeah, and it's probably so, I mean, honestly, though, it sounds like it would be scarier.
Yeah.
Because you're just, like, you know, if a car just isn't paying attention,
your bare body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know who she reminds me of, though?
Who?
Skateboard Mama.
Skateboard Mama.
Mm-hmm. So I grew up in a little beach bar here in Santa Monica, and I have like a bar family, and it's a really fun, sweet, eclectic group of human beings that I grew up around. I was like the baby, and
Baby at the bar.
I was the baby at the bar from day one. And this woman who's a family friend, her name is Liz, but she is known as Skateboard Mama. You can Google her, and like,
Yeah.
she comes up. And she was a skateboarder, and she was an elderly woman, and she would windsurf, and she would rollerblade.
Yeah, like even in her 90s.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Up until like she, you know, was close to passing away, which she passed away just a few years ago. She was just kicking ass. And she taught me how to rollerblade when I was a little kid.
That's so cool. She was like low-key kind of famous.
She was pretty famous, actually, yeah. And she was just like the life of every party. Super thick German accent that got thicker as she got drunker, so it got really hard to understand her. But she was so kind and so cool, and I just love stories like that because it reminds you, like, you're never too old to do things that you like.
Yeah, that's
to do the
so
things
true.
that you want to do or to learn something new.
We gotta like model our lives after that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I hope you enjoyed that story, weirdos.
I definitely enjoyed that. That was a very entertaining story.
Good, I'm glad. And thank you all for listening. Do not forget to... What are the things?
Okay, well, first of all, if you haven't subscribed by now, please hit that subscribe button so you can get new episodes the moment I press upload.
Yeah, don't be rude. Subscribe.
Please.
Please. Leave a review if you haven't, and if you think we are not total trash, leave us a review. It helps the algorithm. It helps other people find us who might also not think we're totally trash. And you can visit our website at historyforweirdos.com. You can find us on all the socials, more or less, as at History for Weirdos.
Yeah, at History for Weirdos on Insta and Twitter.
And Twitter, which I don't know if I've been posting to our Twitter.
We're much more active on Instagram.
We're the most active on Instagram, but we promise, weirdos, we want to connect with like the people that are listening, so we're going to get on it with like the social media game.
Yes, definitely.
We are grandparents though when it comes to social.
I know. My job has been trying to figure out TikTok, and I have failed. Like,
we're gonna enlist my 15-year-old brother and my 11-year-old sister to like run our social media.
Yeah, be like, you guys are in charge of TikTok. Apparently, though, like even like the 15-year-old brother, he was telling me that he doesn't even really do TikTok. It's like for like your younger sister, the 11-year-old, really is into TikTok.
She's super into it. She's always sending me like really cute like hamster and pug and corgi videos.
Oh, corgos.
Yeah. So what did Tommy say that he's into?
Like Instagram.
Suspicious. He doesn't post on Instagram.
Yeah, because that's like the new like cool like youngin' thing. It's like to not post.
Well,
well, we're grandparents.
Yeah. On that note, thank you so much for listening, and goodbye, weirdos.
Bye, weirdos.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
We all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once, and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.